to the recap, I wanted to talk about the drama. And it really wasn't drama. But things that I just thought were funny leading up towards the show. So, if you don't know, there's a new streaming service called Peacock, and you can watch Real Housewives of Miami, which isn't out yet, but will be only on that streaming service. And then right now, what's streaming now is, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And it's basically an all-stars trip. So you have Cynthia and Kenya from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Teresa and Melissa from Real Housewives of New Jersey, Ramona and Luann from Real Housewives of New York, and then Kyle is the only one from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I will say, when I first saw clips of the ladies on the trip, I thought it looked lame. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it looked lame as I don't know what. It looked like a mother's trip. It didn't look like it was fun. But I have to eat crow. I actually enjoy the series. I think it's a kiki. It reminds me of what Housewives was before it got so serious. It's really like people getting to know each other, and the ladies are still like obnoxious and extra. But it's entertaining and it's not as draining or as heavy. And I think that is what current franchises, not just Real Housewives of Potomac, I think that's what it's missing. You know what I mean? But it's good, like it's good. I will say, Kenya was wrong for knocking that drink out of Ramona's hand when they was on that boat. But Ramona was getting on my nerves. And I just wanted someone to check Ramona. Because I was like, MAGA Ramona is so demeaning when it comes to like the wait staff or staffs of any trip that they go on Real Housewives of New York. And she really was no different on this new show. And it was just like, why are you like this? And mind you, she's 67. She looked good for 67. But she's just so demeaning towards people, and it's so aggy. It is so aggy. But again, Kenya was wrong for knocking that drink out of her hand, but Ramona was just doing too much, and someone needed to check her. But she was wrong. Kenya was wrong, but I was with it though. I'm sorry. But let's get into this drama. So the 7 ladies that I said were on Watch What Happens Live, and they were doing like a Zoom in call, and they were basically asking, Andy asked he played some stupid game. Andy always playing stupid games. He was like, who is an all-star? And it was just random pictures of ladies from all franchises, and they were asking who was an all-star. So Porsha picture popped up. Only Cynthia and Kyle thought Porsha was an all-star because they were like holding up pictures, like, cue cards that said an all-star or not an all-star or whatever. And Cynthia and Kyle were the only ones that thought Porsha was an all-star. Everybody else was like, no. Personally, I think Porsha is an all-star. If we're going based off of longevity, Porsha has been on Real Housewives for almost 9 to 8+ years. So like, she been on for a while, and all the ladies that are on the Ultimate Girls Trip have been on their franchises for over 10 years. So I just feel like, maybe over 10 years, or between like 8 to 10 years, they have been on their franchise. So if we're saying like all-stars in the sense of longevity, Porsha would be considered an all-star in my opinion. And she has her moments, but I can give her that. I'm not a Porsha stan or fan really, but I can give her all-star credit. But Porsha got in her feelings. So this is what Porsha tweeted, and y'all know I'm gonna feed it in. This is Porsha. Porsha said, "This is so cute, being that I was originally cast to head the All-Star show along with Giselle. Traveling during quarantine was our issue. Booked and busy when it came back around. Watch hashtag Porsha Family Matters, November 28th, and grab my book, hashtag Pursuit of Porsha. Shout out to Cynthia and Kyle." So I call BS on this. Number one, you and Giselle heading anything is going to be boring. And we know it's going to be boring because you had that chat room. The only reason Porsha's chat room or whatever the chat room thing became interesting to people was because you and Giselle started to give your opinion on the fight that was happening on Real Housewives of Potomac. That's it. That's all. if y'all had not spoke about that, no one was really checking for y'all episodes. And mind you, I watched 2 episodes and I was like, oh, this is boring. This isn't cute. Like, I was like, this it's a cute idea, but it ain't hitting the way y'all think it's hitting. And then Porsha saying traveling during quarantine was the issue. That's a lie, because we're going to talk about it in Porsha Family Matters. You and Simon were up and down South America and Mexico. Y'all was either in Cabo, in Mexico, or y'all was in Ecuador. So really, traveling during quarantine wasn't the issue. I think, honestly, the issue for Porsha was Porsha didn't want to have to answer to the ladies questioning her about Simon and her relationship with him, because on the Ultimate Girls Trip, they do ask questions, like hard-hitting questions. They asked Teresa, like, did she really not know Melissa was gonna be on Real Housewives of New Jersey? And they had an argument about it. So I really think Porsha was not, like, she was not ready, nor did she want to have to deal with being questioned in such a manner. And then the other thing that I thought was funny was, like, a lot of people who don't like Porsha were bringing up how on Sunday, if you checked your DVR, it said Real Housewives of Potomac season 6 episode 21, and it was, you know, the last episode of the reunion. Then at 9 p.m. it was Real Housewives of Atlanta season 1 episode 371. And people were like, why are they using Real Housewives to market Porsha? And then so some of Porsha's fans were like, they do it for everybody's show. And somebody made a good point, and I'm gonna put their thing up there. They were like, y'all gotta stop saying it's Bravo's tactic for Porsha's show to be titled hashtag Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha Family Matters, are making excuses for her. These shows existed without previous show titles helping them. Porsha just isn't strong enough to hold a spinoff off on her own. Y'all, sorry, y'all can't admit that. And then they had Bethany's show, which was Bethany's Getting Married, Manzo with Children, Don't Be Tardy for the Party, The Wedding, and then it was Nene's Wedding Special, or I Dream of Nene, The Wedding Special. And they made a point, because I thought it was kind of weird that, like they had Real Housewives in the DVR, but I kind of agree with that. I don't think Porsha is strong enough to hold a franchise on her own, but we'll see. I honestly think this show is dedicated towards her family, more so Porsha and them dealing with it. But that's it for my little kiki about the drama. But let's get into my recap and review for Porsha Family Matters, The Bed of Lies. So let's get into this recap, y'all. Disclaimer, I'm gonna put this out here. I am not a Porsha fan, stan, or a Porsha hater, and I'm not a Kenya fan, stan, or a Kenya hater. I would take Kenya over Porsha any day. But I'm saying all that to say is I'm not going to be on here kissing this lady's behind, but I'm also not going to be just dragging her just to drag her. But because I done seen you Porsha people in them comments, and y'all are too old to be wilding out like that. This is this lady's fault. This is Porsha's fault. Be mad at Porsha for putting herself in this predicament. Okay? Don't be mad at the reviewers. But let's get into this review, y'all. So it starts off, and they're really trying to put lipstick on a pig. They're really trying to, like, dress up this situation between Simon and Porsha. And it's honestly like, you can't dress it up. I wish they would just be honest. And maybe they are being honest, and it's just messy, to be honest. Because the producers asked Porsha, like, is there anything you want to clear up? But I will say before we get to that, when Porsha was like, Simon only has eyes for Porsha, I said, girl, Simon got eyes for everybody. Simon been married 3 times, sis, and you about to be wife number 4. Simon don't have eyes for just you. He said Simon's eyes go wherever they need to go. Okay? So they're asking her, like, you know, like, is there anything you want to clear up? And she was just saying how, like, you know, so she been taking a hit on social media. And I'm like, of course you have, girl. It looks like you're a home-wrecking whore. People not happy about that. People are not happy about that, ma'am. And you supposed to be like, they, like, you know, they queen online. They are not happy that they queen out here embarrassing them out here like that, sis. So I thought this was the first lie that was told, because we're marking down how many lies, because this is Porsha's better lies. So the first lie that was told was that Porsha was like, Simon proposed to her on a Thursday, and they thought that the engagement, like they thought the divorce would be over by Friday, or like finalized by Friday. And here's my thing, and this is when I'm looking at Porsha and Simon funny, because number one, Simon, why would you still propose to her when your divorce was not finalized? What were you rushing for? Like, were you rushing to like spite Fallon? Or what? Or were you rushing to try to lock Porsha down? Or did Porsha tell you she wanted to be engaged and you was just trying to do it? Because to me, it doesn't make sense why he would still propose to her on Thursday, but his divorce wasn't finalized till Friday. And I'm like, you could have waited. Like, you could have waited till Saturday, Sunday, or you could have waited till Friday afternoon when the paperwork was sent to you that it was finalized, you know? Or if you really just wanted to propose to her on a Thursday, you could have waited till next week to propose to her on the following Thursday. So to me, it looks suspect that he was so like ready to like try to marry her, like try to be engaged, because it makes me feel like you only tried to get engaged with her so you could throw that in Fallon's face. Also with Porsha looks sus, because I'm like, girl, if you knew his like marriage was not, like his divorce was not finalized, why did you accept the proposal? I would have told him, don't propose to me till all of that is done. So why did you do it? Like, they both look stupid to me. And don't get me wrong, because I think on both sides, I think Fallon and Jalen are liars, and I think Simon and Porsha are liars. The only person that ain't a liar is Dennis, okay? And that's wild, because I thought Dennis was tired and through on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I like him on Porsha Family Matters. Like, he had me tickled the whole entire episode. But the reason why I say that is because that story about we got engaged on a Thursday and we thought the divorce would be finalized on a Friday, that sounds to me like lies. And then with Fallon saying that like she wasn't, like, you know, saying that she would, like, when she outed that she was pregnant, or I won't say outed, announcing that she was pregnant, I feel like she was pregnant on Up and Adam. And I feel like her and Jalen probably were messing around. But I also feel like Simon was messing around with other people too. So, like, both of them are wrong in the situation. I really don't, like, I'm not a Fallon fan or stan or whatever. But, like, I feel like everybody is wrong in this situation except Dennis, which is crazy. So they asked, like, well, how did y'all, like, initiate your relationship? And Porsha lies again. So that's lie number 2. Porsha lies again, and she's like, oh, like, you know, he slid into my DMs. And then let Simon tell it. Simon's like, no, she slid into my DMs after I announced my divorce, trying to comfort me. And I'm like, girl, was you trying to comfort Fallon? Did you try to comfort Fallon, Porsha? Did you? I said, girl, not you running to your co-workers, man. But I was just like, ooh, girl, that was fast. But it's also weird to me that, like, Simon and Fallon were only married for a year and a half, and then they decided to get a divorce, but they were, like, together in a relationship, I think, for, like, 5 years or something like that. I don't know. It just was weird. Like, y'all couldn't really work it out after a year. But that's neither here nor there. If you want to know more about that, you should check out Tisa Tells. And y'all know I'm going to put up the name, because y'all know I'm horrible with names. But she has done, like, several videos, like, giving out, like, receipts and the tea about Simon and Porsha's whirlwind love affair. So go check her channel out. She has a really nice personality. But yeah. And, like, we see, so the episode is continuing, and we see Simon and Porsha in a car, and they're actually going to meet their realtor because they're planning on buying a house together. And you would think, like, they both have really nice houses. Why won't they just move in together? And then here comes it's too much history. And I'm like, because y'all both messy. So Simon doesn't really want to move in with Porsha because Dennis has lived there. And they show a flashback of Dennis living there. And then Porsha doesn't want to move into Simon's home because of the flashback of it being Fallon in Simon's home. And they show last season where we saw Lauren, Tanya, and Porsha meet Simon for the first time. Supposedly. Excuse me, y'all. And so like they both were like, it's too much history. So I guess Porsha is moving from Duluth, I think I said that right, which is a county in Georgia, to Buckhead. Like she's moving to Atlanta because Buckhead is closer to Atlanta. And everybody's kind of surprised because they were like, Porsha never wanted to leave her home because that was the home that she purchased by herself after she got a divorce with Cordell, which is understandable because it was like, that was something she bought with her own money, so she never really wanted to give it up. So I understand that. But like, you know, Simon don't want to move there. So they go meet the realtor. It's a beautiful home that they're looking at. It's $2.2 million. It has 7 bedrooms. I think it was over 6,000 and like 6,000 feet. So it's a nice size home. It was really pretty. And basically I don't know. You can tell that Porsha is so enamored by the supposed wealth of Simon having $40 million because she was so ecstatic when she was sitting in the car with him to have the conversation about like, you know, we have to make sure the house that we have has enough garages because you have like, don't you have like 5 cars? And he was like, I don't know. And then Simon trying to act like he don't know how many cars he got. The hell. And like, but you could see like she was like giddy at the fact that like, okay, like my man got money, you know, he a big fish, you know? And I'm like, Porsha, you giving gold digger vibes. Stop. Because my thing is like, Porsha has money. She's on, I don't know if she's still on Ricky Smiley, but she was on Ricky Smiley's morning show. Her weave line has done really well. So I'm like, Porsha, you have money and you're on Real Housewives. Stop looking like you look thirsty. You giving bird activity. You need to stop. You really need to stop. So they're looking at the home, and then it's like in conjunction, we see Dennis pull up to Porsha's house to go see, you know, his daughter, PJ, aka Pilar. And it was adorable. Like she was so excited when she heard that doorbell when the doorbell rung because she knew it was her daddy. And she was like, Daddy! And like, she booked it. And she was like, I want ice cream. And I was like, that's sweet. You can tell that Dennis and his daughter have a good relationship. And I think that's wonderful. Like, the little girl looked so excited to see her daddy. And I thought that was wonderful. And he also still has a good relationship with Queen Elsa, aka Porsha's mom, and I think that's good too. Like she said, the only thing that's changed between her and Dennis is who Porsha is with now, but she always got love for Dennis, and I think that's how it should be, especially if they're gonna co-parent and things of that nature. So we see them talking, and then they flip back over to Porsha and Simon talking, and y'all, Simon was so winded walking up them steps. Simon was leaning back in that chair. Simon said, "So it's too small. We got more, we got to have more room now." And I was like, get that man some water. Give Simon some water. Because you could tell he was tired walking up them steps. Simon needs a ranch. They need a ranch style home. They do not need a 2-level or 3-level house, because Simon was just like, yeah, we're going to need more room. I said, he trying to catch his breath. I was done. But basically, he said the 7-bedroom house, because the house that they were looking at was like $2.2 million. And they were like, it's 7 bedrooms, but it's not enough room for them. Because Simon has like, I think 6 kids. And I thought he only had 5, but I think he has 6 kids. That's what they kept saying. I don't know if they're adding PJ into that. But he was like, we need more space just for us. And then he said something about, you can't move the king into the queen's castle. I said, but it's whatever. So they're talking, and then this is when I had to give Simon his props, because it's Porsha's 40th birthday. And I thought it was hilarious that they showed the many faces of Porsha Peach Juice Williams, aka Queen or princess of Thoughtlandia, because Porsha was like, it's a new era. And then they showed her 8 years ago when she was with Cordell, and then when they got the divorce. Then they showed her with Dennis, and then they showed her being pregnant. Then they showed her doing the Black Lives Matters thing, which she did for a hot second and dropped it like it was nothing. And that's why a lot of people were questioning her activism, because ever since, she has gotten this show, we ain't heard Porsha say not a word about Black Lives Matter. But that's either here nor there. So I'm just like, girl. So then Dennis is like, what island is Porsha on now? And this is why I said that whole comment about her being worried about traveling during quarantine. Because they showed it. They showed Porsha was in Cabo, Mexico with Simon. She was in Costa Rica. They went back to Mexico, went to Cabo, and then they were in some place in Ecuador, because I will not butcher how to say that country's name. So Dennis was like, where's she at? And that's when Queen Elsa was like, oh, they looking at homes. And I was like, it was funny because they asked like, oh, are you coming to Porsha's party? And Dennis was like, no. And the mom was like, why not? And he was like, Porsha said I can't have no date. And she was like, no, she didn't. And Simon, like I said, I had to give Simon his props, because Simon was like, that's not fair. You told everybody else that they could bring a +1. Why can't he bring a +1? And I'm looking at Porsha like, yeah, like, girl, you're engaged. Your man right here. Let Dennis bring somebody. And then Porsha's whole thing was like, he can bring someone that he's serious about, but he can't just bring somebody that's like off the streets. I said, Heifer, Simon is off the streets. Your timeline of being with Simon is 2 months at tops, and you had that man around the baby. So I'm just kind of like, Dennis can bring one of his hoes with him. You just don't want to see him bring his hoes with him. That's what it is. So Dennis breaks down the timeline for us. So Dennis was like, they broke up in July of 2020. They had matching pajamas in 2020 in December for like the Christmas. And then then in May of 2021, she was engaged to Simon. And I was like, yeah, that's a whirlwind love affair. That is a whirlwind love affair. And I was weak. I was like, okay, Dennis, break down the timeline. So then we see Lauren. And like, we see Lauren, and she look good. You can tell Lauren is like the bohemian chic kind of sister, but it's whatever. So like I said, it's Porsha's like 40th birthday, and they're doing it at Simon's club or whatever. And so Simon posts this picture, and I remember this like collage photo set that he posts. And it was basically, and y'all, I'm just looking at my phones with the screenshots. He says, as long as we continue to love and understand and respect each other, there is nothing on the planet that can come between us and the love we have for each other. And then it was all the pictures of the moments that Simon and her had shared. It was the picture of them in Costa Rica after they got engaged. It was their first kiss. Then it was the what's his name? I think I cannot say his middle name, but it was Simon's middle name. That she got tatted on the back of her neck. And then Porsha like kind of felt some type of way. Like then here came like the tears, but we're not going to talk about that yet. We're going to talk about Lauren. So Lauren and them are at Simon's club, and they're basically trying to spice it up for Porsha's birthday. So like I like the concept. It was nothing but pictures of Porsha like on huge cardboard cutouts. They have like pictures of her, what's it called? Like on the screens. And then they had this huge banner that dropped down when the party bus that they were all riding on to come to Porsha's thing, like to her birthday party. They had that out at the front. So it was really nice. So then we meet Lottie, is it Londi? Their cousin. They meet their cousin, and she seems cool. She don't understand this relationship either. She feels like it's hella awkward. So she not with it. But it is what it is. So then we see Simon gift Porsha gifts. Like he got her a I about to say 17,000, 7,800 Chanel bag. Then he also bought her $750 perfume or whatever. And she was so excited for the gifts. She sprayed it. She's like, it smelled like money. That is bird behavior, Porsha. Stop it. You have money. Stop it. Okay? So she's upset about Simon posting those pictures of them because I guess she said basically every picture Simon posts of her, he needs to approve by her. Now, I agree with her and then I don't agree with her. I agree in the sense of like, yes, because she is the public figure and she's been on TV longer than him. I need to make sure you ain't putting no bull about me online because we're together, because we're a package deal. But I don't agree with her in the sense of like, if he's going to be your husband, he should be able to post whatever. As long as it's nothing derogatory or salacious as it pertains to you or demeaning, then why does he need to check with you? So she's sitting on the bed. She upset about him posting them pictures. She trying to muster up some tears. She did it at the end, so good job for you. Where she feels like, he's like, I don't think he wants to hurt me. And this is where I call bull on Porsha and like Porsha's family in general, is that Lauren, Londi, and Mama Elsa all are like, Simon is doing things, but he's not trying to hurt you. And I'm like, Simon don't give a rat's about Porsha. All Simon cares about is how will this make me look and how badly is this gonna like bother Fallon. And that's just what he doing. Like he kept saying throughout the whole entire episode, I don't give a about social media. I post whatever I want. And he basically don't care. So then she crying because she's like, she has anxiety about the hate she been getting. And I find this is where I was like, I find this very funny that you can't handle the hate that you are getting. But oftentimes we've seen Porsha gloat and somewhat egg on people when they're coming at other housewives, i.e. Candace, Kenya. She did that with Candy. She did that with Nene. Granted, the whole Nene thing I understood. But we've seen her. She even did that with Cynthia. We've seen Porsha like kind of like gloat in the fact that like she's the fan favorite. And now that she's not the fan favorite and getting a taste of what it's like to be like a villain in the eyes of like social media, she can't handle it and she got anxiety. And I'm just kind of like, girl, this is the game you're playing. So I don't understand why you aren't prepared for the backlash of the things that you have done. Like what you did makes you look like a home wrecking whore. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You, in a lot of people's eyes, you may have not stole Simon. Simon may have already been ready to kick Fallon to the curb, but the optics they're not good for you, ma'am. They are not in your favor. And that's just what it is. So then she said she's going to have a talk with him. I found it funny when Porsha was like, they're all getting ready for the party and stuff. And mind you, Porsha is beautiful. Porsha is gorgeous. Like, her birthday outfit was pretty. The outfit that she wore when she went out on a dinner date with, like a lunch date with Simon. Porsha is gorgeous. So she sees her mom. Queen Elsa walks in. And like, she's like, oh my God, this 63 and fabulous. She's like, I hope my jeans work. I said, sis, you know your mama body is paid for. You know your mama body is paid for. So hush, hush, hush. Your mama look good, but stop acting like that's genetics, ma'am. We know what you got is not genetics. And we're okay with that because you look beautiful. But hush. cut it. So we're at Porsha's little birthday get together. We find out that the party bus that they're on, Dennis donated it. And mind you, I really do think Porsha still got feelings for Dennis. I was glad cousin Landy, I think her name is Landy, said like, yeah, they're both delusional because they're acting like they don't have feelings for each other, but they do. Because Porsha kept bringing up Dennis. Like she was like, Dennis could bring his girlfriend if she looked like a bus. But since I don't know what she looked like, thank you for the bus. I was like, why does it matter? You're engaged to Simon. You should not care who Dennis brings around, as long as that person is treating PJ correctly and the person is not harmful or mean or nasty towards your daughter, and she's respectful of you and your family, then it should not matter what she looked like or how long she been with Dennis, because you already broke the rules of what you're saying Dennis should be abiding by. Because honestly, you're saying that you and Simon have only been together for like at tops 2 months, but y'all are engaged and you didn't have that man around your child. There are pictures. So cut it, Porsha, cut it. So they're at the party. It's nice. Like, you know, Yandy's there, Shamia's there, Jennifer Williams is there. We see her cousin. I don't understand why they're putting so much emphasis on saying Porsha's cousin on her mother's side, Porsha's cousin on her father's side. Why can't y'all just say that that's your cousin? That's your cousin. I don't even do that. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to my cousin's house. I don't be like, I'm not specific about like whose side that person is on. That makes no sense to me. And then we see clown ass Drew. Drew is a clown. Drew is such a clown. And Drew just wants to be in the it crowd so bad, because it did not make any sense why you were on LaToya's neck last season and calling her what's it called? She said she had a Jezebel spirit or a Delilah. Honestly, it's supposed to be she said she had a Delilah spirit when she meant to say she had a Jezebel spirit, because Jezebel, I think, was the prostitute in the Bible. Delilah just tricked her man. But it just didn't make sense why you were harping on and calling LaToya all types of hoes, and like she wasn't looking for guys, she was looking for dick. But you were you just 8 months ago, and they ratted you out just 8 months ago. You were in Fallon's home for a Halloween party around Simon. But now it's like, I don't know everything and I don't need to know everything. She's happy, so I'm happy. You're a clown. Drew is a clown. I don't care. That pissed me off, and then she was so happy to be at the party over there dancing. I was like, Lord. So then, you know, Porsha and everybody's turning up. Everyone's having a good time. We see like Simon talking about, you know, if I turn up, Porsha's turning up. That's how we vibe. I said, ma'am, sir, you damn near 69. You hitting on the cusp of 70. Turn down before you have a heart attack. Take it down a notch, Simon. Take it down. So he had me weak. Because he was drunk. Like, Simon, like, so then Portia's like, let me take you outside so we can have a talk. So they go outside. He got a cigar in one hand with a beer and a cup, and you can tell Simon drunk. And he is up there. He is up there, and they're talking because he's taking like long pauses. Because he was like, I don't feel like my love for you should be censored. I said, okay, you got it, bro. And basically, he was like, no, like he said he shouldn't have posted pictures, but he was like, I want people to know how much I love you. And Porsha was like, yeah, but you know, I told you. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, and we move on now. Then we get to, it's the next day. All of a sudden, Porsha and Simon are on their like little lunch date. Porsha is happy now because the comments are like in favor of her. Like, she had one comment, I was like, yes, I absolutely love it. Be free, be happy. That glow is awesome. It's love over everything for me. Keep it coming, you two. Team Queen Porsha. Yes, this is love. Show out, Simon. What the hell, y'all? Because I guarantee you the women, men or whoever wrote those posts, if they were in Fallon's shoes, they would not be saying that. But I'm going to let it go. So now she's okay with him posting because fans are like loving it now. And I'm like, Porsha, you got to work on that. You've been on reality TV for more than like 10 plus years. You should have a wall built up to where that stuff doesn't bother you like that. But the fact that it does says a lot about who you are. So then it's the next day, and we see Londi going to hang out with Porsha, and I guess they're having like a cookout at her house. And then we see we see Lauren kicking it with what's his name, Dennis Big Head. And Dennis basically is like, y'all lying, and this don't look good. He said Porsha gonna be in the Hall of Fame for home wrecker, and he right. And I like how he said Porsha moves fast and she crashes hard, and I think that is what everybody is like. A lot of people are saying like this is too fast. Although I didn't like how Landy outed Lauren and was like, you know, Lauren been talking to Dennis a lot, and Porsha was like, for real? And like Dennis basically said him and Lauren are like big sister, like little sister, big brother. He was like, I'm always gonna have love for her, like that's the homie. But it was messy of Landy to say it, because I'm like, if Lauren wanted her sister to know, she probably would have told Porsha like, oh, I'm going to kick it with Dennis. But that's basically what happened, y'all. This video was way longer than I wanted it to be. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. I also thought it was funny that, like, I didn't know Porsha had 2 tattoos. So on one side, on her right ear, she has Simon's, like, name. And then on the other side, she has a matching tattoo with Dennis. Because a lot of people, excuse me, y'all, thought that tattoo that Porsha had of Simon's name was fake. But it's not. It really not. Because I didn't know nothing about that one with Dennis. But I don't know. I'm down for the ride. I'm down for the shenanigans. I'm down for everything. So yeah, y'all, drop down in them comments below. Remember to be bravely authentic. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.